What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Man and Nolan Show. My name is Andrew Heidemann, here with Connor Nolan, and welcome to the first episode of the show. A lot's been going down this weekend. We have a lot to talk about. So let's get right into it. Connor, what do you got for us?
Well, first of all, I just want to say it's great that we're here and we're doing this. That I'm in Connecticut right now, you're in Texas, and I'm happy to be here. First of all, we got a lot going on, from the Chicago Bears to the World Series to Arizona to the Von Miller trade. We have a lot to talk about tonight.
We do. We definitely do. Being on fall break, I'm just thankful, we can still share, these moments and talk about these different events that happened over this past weekend.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it. So let's start with let's start with Thursday Night Football. So yep. Thursday Night Football, we saw obviously a very high-scoring game between the Green Bay Packers, and Arizona Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Connor, did you think the Packers were going to win that game, or?
The problem is that the Packers are a good team. They are a good team, and Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. But the thing is that so far this season, I'm just really impressed with the Cardinals. Genuinely, I'm really impressed. I think they got a lot of talent going on in their team. And Kyler Murray is just fun to watch. Kyler Murray is really, really fun to watch. I didn't catch too much of that game. What I did, I was just really impressed with Kyler Murray. Just really impressed with him. I cannot tell you that I can tell you that Kyler Murray is in the running for the MVP this year. I think the only other person that's going to give him a run for his money this year for the MVP is Josh Allen.
Oh yeah. It's funny you bring that up. I actually got an alert yesterday from, like ESPN on my phone, that Josh Allen superseded Kyler Murray in the MVP.
Yep, I got that alert too. Yep.
Yeah. So that was pretty interesting to see. I mean, I know that Kyler Murray didn't have the greatest game, this past, Thursday night, but
yeah,
it's still really cool to see, the Arizona Cardinals, kind of coming up, they're a very young team, They got a lot of potential still, they still have a lot of better football to play. You know what I mean? And, Thursday night we saw a very close and high intensity, tension filled game. It was really cool. I mean, watching two high powered teams really get into it. And, I have some interesting stats here from the game. Two main stats that really like stuck out, that really, when you went and looked at the box score, you're just going to see these and be like, well, like, this is why, the Cardinals kind of, lost, and why it was such a close game.
Yeah.
But rushing yards, Arizona had 74 rushing yards. The Packers had 151 rushing yards.
Yeah.
And there was news last week of, JJ Watt having potentially a serious season-ending injury, but the Cardinals to let up 151 rushing yards, that's just really eye-opening, losing JJ Watt as one of your, best defenders, right? How much of a leader he was, and how important he was on that run defense. I mean, Aaron Jones, if you watch the game, Aaron Jones just ran right through a lot of Cardinal defenders, and they had no answer for that run.
I cannot stress it enough how utterly important JJ Watt is for the Arizona defense. I mean, the man is what our parents saw, right? What back in the day with like Randy White and guys like that. He's like the modern day like Bob Lilly. You know what I mean? It's just like these guys like he's just absolutely off the charts. He's up there. Guys like him, Aaron Donald, just excellent football players, excellent defensive tackles.
Yeah.
And I just could not say it enough. he is crucial to that Arizona defense. And I think it's him on that defense is what allows to take the pressure off of Kyler Murray so that he could perform the way he does on offense. Like in the sense, I know that sounds kind of weird, but that because JJ Watt's on that defense and not letting up the points, Kyler Murray doesn't feel pressured enough to perform, in a sense. And that just goes to show, because when a defense is doing good, an offense doesn't feel like they have to support the entire ship. It doesn't have to support the entire game, the entire team.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right, Connor. Yeah, and it's, because, the Cardinals are kind of missing JJ Watt. He was kind of that, veteran leader, on that
Yeah.
defense. Kind of
Mhm.
anchored that defense in a way, so hopefully they can fix up those errors and, kind of get back, maybe figure out what they're doing. They got a big test this week, they got a big test this week, and then they actually they don't play again for another, I think it's 9 days, 9 days, 10, not like 10, 9 days, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I guess
Wait, who are they playing though this next?
they're playing here. They're playing at the 49ers. They're playing against the 49ers.
Okay, yep.
So that should be an interesting game to watch.
Yep.
Just one last thing to note on the Packers and Cardinals game, Kyler, they had 3 turnovers, and there's an interesting stat. It's like, if the team that commits the more turnovers during a game is the team that's more likely to lose.
Yep.
And we saw that, the Packers had no turnovers. They had no
turnovers.
Cardinals, 2 interceptions and a fumble. And, obviously 3 turnovers to none, Cardinals definitely gave away some opportunity. And also, the Packers had more time of possession than the Cardinals. Now, obviously, time of possession doesn't mean anything, right? But
yeah, no.
the turnovers, that's the biggest thing right there,
Yeah.
And obviously, maybe, okay, that last turnover, you have 16 seconds left, fourth quarter, Cardinals, red zone, maybe they should have kicked the field goal. To tie the game, but instead they go for it, and AJ Green doesn't know what's going on, and he's run blocking instead of where he should turn around, and he didn't know the ball was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Great athletic play by Rasul Douglas, the cornerback who was covering AJ Green. Yep. But it was kind of funny is that he was on the Cardinals practice squad early in the month. So
really, I did not know that.
Oh yeah. And so it was a little, kind of not heartbreaking, but a little bittersweet, as a Cardinals fan, just seeing him, make a great play and spoil the undefeated run. You know what I mean? And so, but yeah, no, just, watching hopefully the Cardinals, get back to winning next week, and, hopefully, we see maybe we'll see the Packers and Cardinals again in the playoffs. Hopefully.
Yeah, that would be really fun to watch. That'd be wicked fun to watch.
Yeah. So, anyways, moving on. So recently, I think it was today. Yeah.
It was today. And talking about how crucial defenses are, talking about JJ Watt not being there, talking about crucial defenses are, the Von Miller trade.
Yeah.
That is true. Speaking of Kyler Murray, I mean, he's probably scared. He's probably really scared right now, thinking about that defense he's going to have to go up against.
Yeah.
I know if I was a quarterback, I'd be sitting there. I played defense. I played defensive tackle in high school. I played defensive end in high school. Quarterbacks are always princesses. And I don't care how much of respect you got for the quarterback on the team. He's still a princess. So, and I didn't even start. So it just goes to show that these quarterbacks, anybody who plays the Rams, for first and third round pick, right? Yeah, first and third round pick.
Well, no. They gave up a second rounder and a third rounder, and they're 2022 picks.
And those are big picks.
Those are
really big picks.
They're day 2 picks.
Yeah, and but that defense is going to be something else. And with Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, that's just going to be fun to watch. That's going to be wicked fun to watch. And you sit there and you think about this, right?
Yeah.
I am so glad to see Matt Stafford on the Rams. You know why? Because Jared Goff and I was talking about this today with my brother-in-law, and he made a good point. Jared Goff was kind of like a college quarterback, right?
Mhm.
And where he just listened to what the coach would say. Right, do this. He didn't think for himself in a sense. Matt Stafford, I mean, is a really good quarterback. And when you have a defense like that, and as I said, they complement each other. They really complement each other. So when you have a good defense like that, that takes the pressure off of Stafford to not, I mean, let up on getting points up, but in a sense, you know, you can play football now. And if the Rams can acquire some good receivers at least, I mean, that's going to be a formidable team, but especially with a defense like that. I mean, a good quarterback can really work with receivers and stuff like that and make those guys good. And a good coach could work with that. But you have a good defense on top of that, because I think, what was it? It was like Nebraska or Oklahoma a couple of years ago. All they could do was put up points, but they would let points through like no tomorrow. But it was only because they had a good offense is that they would constantly be winning. I can't remember if it was Nebraska or Oklahoma. But you have but you have a football team where you have a good defense. I mean, defense really is super important to supporting that offense.
Yeah.
And taking pressure off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, seeing Von Miller already join, like Leonard Floyd, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Okay, Leonard Floyd, he he had a breakout year last year. He had some ridiculous amount of sacks last year.
Oh yeah.
Donald is Aaron Donald. Like, seriously, the man's like a 6-time All-Pro.
Yeah.
He's won Defensive Player of the Year numerous times.
Yep.
And you got a lockdown corner in Jalen Ramsey, who's arguably the best corner in the league. You're already joining a stacked defense. And as they say, defense wins championships. So I would not I would be, very surprised to see the Rams, make a first round exit in the playoffs. I mean, I would see them. My prediction is this: I see the Rams going. I could see them going all the way to the Super Bowl. I really could.
Watching the Rams, I mean, they'll be battling. I mean, if like the Cowboys can keep up with it and the Packers can keep up with it, it's going to be a battle between the Packers, Cowboys, and Rams. I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And just looking at it, on paper, the Rams are one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NFC right now.
Paper. Yep.
And
on paper.
On paper. So we'll see. So, we'll wait and see, barring injuries, barring any other future trades or, coaches fired or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But, and it's interesting to see, Les Snead, he's the GM of the Rams. This is an interesting stat that I saw after the trade today. The Rams only have 3 picks left in the 2022 draft. They have a 3rd round pick, a 5th round pick, and a 7th round pick. 3 picks left. So, when we see a lot of trades happen in the NFL, right? We see players going. We see, a lot of like lower round, draft capital go, but a lot of GMs don't give up their draft capital because they want to see the rising talent. They want to see who they can draft at other positions. And this isn't the first time we've seen Les Snead, deal out his draft capital. I mean, the Rams haven't had a 1st round pick in what seems like forever. I mean, they've traded away, for the Jalen Ramsey trade. And then back when they had Jared Goff, they traded a flurry of picks just to trade up to get him. And then the Matt Stafford trade, they had to trade away 2 1st round picks and Goff to unload Goff's big contract. And, and then they got Matt Stafford in return, right? But the Rams are very, very aggressive when it comes to trading away draft capital. And I feel like a lot of other teams should adopt that mantra. They definitely should, I mean, if you're in a win or go home type situation, I mean, why not go all in? Why not? I mean, of course, the Broncos receiving those picks, right? The Broncos, they're going to probably rebuild here in a year. I'd say after this season, or maybe, next year or the season after. They're going to rebuild. I mean, the Broncos haven't been good since Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl and left. So,
And that was what?
like,
I mean, 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Longer, I
And
think.
and so I could see them, rebuilding, and I feel like it's a good trade for both teams. So I mean that was definitely a big trade to wake up to today.
Oh
And
yeah.
that'll be definitely a game changer in the NFC West and for all the future teams that played the Rams. I mean, the Rams they just went from like playoffs to Super Bowl, more Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, they're a very scary defense right now. Very
Oh
scary.
yeah. I
So,
mean, and I think and talking about defenses, I mean they are up there for one of the scariest defenses in the league. I think along with I think I would say another good defense to look at would also be the Cowboys defense
oh
because
yeah,
they're a young defense, and they're still getting their chemistry together. The Cowboys have had good defenses over the last couple of years, but this is really the one solidified. But if we're talking about probably one of the best defenses in the league, the Rams have to be it.
absolutely,
I
absolutely.
think I think with Von Miller, who is a veteran, right? They're going to be able to find that balance of chemistry wicked quick. And as soon as they find that balance of chemistry, it's going to be ferocious for offenses. I mean, you're going to have, I mean, and depending on what type of defense they're going to play, they're going to, they're going to run. You're going to, the offensive lines are going to have really going to have to pay attention to play calls and watching out for these for stunts. I mean, not so much Jalen Ramsey, but Von Miller and um, uh, Aaron Donald really going to have to pay attention to that stuff because first of all, Von Miller is all over the place always. He can do lots of he knows what he's doing. He's very good at what he does. And then Aaron Donald is a master of technique. Master of technique. I used to watch Aaron Donald videos. I can go into my YouTube right now and look at playlists of videos of like defensive lineman techniques, and Aaron Donald is like every third video. The man is that good at what he does. So we're gonna see NFL offenses scared. They're not going to show it. They shouldn't show it. But you're going to see NFL offenses really being like, okay, this is what they're going to do. You need to study that game film because you know just as much as they're going to be studying yours.
Yeah. Yeah. So we will see. We will see.
It's all mental. It's all mental.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And so kind of last thing, we kind of want to wrap up the show with is the playoffs, the World Series.
Good old World Series.
Braves and the Astros. So, Connor, what do you think? What do you think about the World Series this year?
So far, and I mean, it's not very, it's not a secret at this point that I'm a big Sox fan. So honestly, in my opinion, I'm sitting back and watching the ride. I think that it's been entertaining. It's been really, really entertaining, for the stuff that I've watched.
Yeah.
And the highlights at least.
Yeah.
And it is just really entertaining to see what these guys are doing. Because I'm trying to think, what are for the people, the Astros, was it the Astros or the Braves? It's been a while since the Braves have been in the series, correct?
Yeah. The Braves, I don't. No, it's been a long time since.
Yeah, because I can't remember a time. I can't remember a time that the Braves have been in the series. But I was actually kind of surprised that that it's come down to I thought the Braves had it the other night.
Yeah.
I thought the Braves had it the other night. I was surprised that the Astros won. So this next game is going to be these next two games are going to be um, really, really nail biting. I think you'll see most of the country watch it. And honestly, it's not even like it's not even like it's two teams that a lot of people really do. It's not like it's like the Red Sox and Dodgers a couple of years ago. I mean, come on, that was such a great series. But I'm just in these next two games because I just want to know now. I mean, are the Astros gonna pull it off? You know,
Yeah, yeah,
are they really gonna be like, okay, we just absolutely kick the crap out of the Braves? I mean, when you win 9-5, you're showing something right there. I mean, you're showing that you have the potential to do something like that. So I think they're going back to Houston, right? To play the next game, or are they going back to Atlanta? They're going
uh,
back to Houston because they were just they were going back to Houston.
yeah. They're going back to Houston. Yeah,
So that's just gonna be really fun to see if the Astros can pull it off on their own turf.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it'll be. I think if we've seen anything from these last few games, it's like good pitching, right? You have good
Oh
pitch.
yeah,
Pitching wins you games, obviously, right? And so I think it'll come down. I think it'll be a close game, close last two. If not, I think the Braves might. I think the Braves are going to win. I think the Braves will pull it off, But again, I think it just comes down to whoever has the best pitching and whoever can
yeah.
come up with the most runs, obviously, right?
I
But
I agree. I personally believe the Braves are the better team.
yeah, absolutely. I
I j-
absolutely.
I absolutely believe that the Braves are the better team. Um, and I mean, again, I don't really have a dog in the fight at this point. I really don't care.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just interesting because I want to see good baseball.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
That's
And
that's what I want to see out of this, and I think that's what we're getting because the Braves, the Braves have a thing about them. There's just they want to win. You could tell that they want to win. The
oh yeah,
Astros, they're just not. To me, they're just not there yet. I feel not that they're lucky to have gotten to this point. It's just that they played well, but they're not on the same levels as the Braves. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
I just don't see the Astros pulling it off. I think that the other night, winning 9-5 shows something that they have potential, but I
yeah,
don't think that this is the year. I mean, because what was it? It was a couple games ago, in the last series, not last World Series, but the Red Sox had won like 9-0 or something like that,
yeah,
and then they got their butts handed to them. So it should, they just handed the game over. So it's just like that means it shows something, but it means nothing. That makes sense.
yeah, yeah. And to kind of make a case for the Astros here, right? The Astros have been they have a lot of prime time experience. They've been in the playoffs. They've been in these
Yeah.
big moments.
Yep.
And they've been in the World Series, I mean, so they have the experience, but like you said, I mean, I think the Braves are a better team just because of the heart that they're playing with, right? They've never
Yep.
been to a World Series most recently, right? And they're full of heart, they're riding momentum. And the team with the most heart, and the team that has the most will to win will win.
Yeah, I
You know?
agree with that.
And so that's why I think these last two games, we could see the Astros pull off this game tomorrow. Or we could see that the Braves win it all. We could
Yeah.
it'll be very interesting. So both those both those games or the game tomorrow could be, very, very different, but they're going to be very high tension filled games. I mean,
Very high. Yeah.
Braves are playing to win the ship, and the Astros are playing to stay alive. And
Yeah.
you know, so the entire country is probably rooting for the Braves because the Astros stole signs and got caught for it. A few years ago in the World Series.
Yep.
But again, the Astros are here, and we could see them pull it off. We just don't know, but it'll be an interesting game for sure. So we'll see. So we'll see.
I could not agree more.
Yeah. So That's all we have for you guys today, folks. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for joining episode 1 of the Man and Nolan Show. We're signing off for now, and we will see you all in the next episode. See you, folks.